had a tremendous save in the 33rd minute, too.
Yeah.
After we scored in the 31st minute.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on to the Lakers now. You know, it's a shame that nobody at this table gambles. Otherwise, I would say go put some money on the Los Angeles Lakers. Even without Kawhi Leonard on the team, a little town in Nevada called Las Vegas has the Lakers as even money to win the 2020 title. Nick, I'll explain what even money means in the break, but can the Lakers win a championship without Kawhi Leonard?
They can, but that would not be a good bet right now. Even money, they are not that type of favorites without Kawhi Leonard, especially given the free agents that are not left on the market, especially given the fact that when we're talking about them filling out the rest of their roster, if Kawhi does not choose them and they have $32 million to spend, there ain't nobody to spend it on. You're going to bring Kelly Oubre, T.J. McConnell, Justin Holiday. These are the names. They brought in my buddy Jared Dudley yesterday on the veteran minimum. They'll probably buy out Andre Iguodala. I believe, even without Kawhi Leonard, they will be the favorite, but barely. If Kawhi goes back to Toronto, they are right there. I believe Giannis and Milwaukee are still coming. I don't think the Rockets are all of a sudden going to fall apart. There's one team they haven't been able to beat the last 5 years. That team, to me, is no longer relevant for this upcoming season. They're Philadelphia. If they can defensively be as good as I believe they can be with Al Horford, they're dangerous as well, and they go 5 deep in their starting lineup. So, yes, because you've got that guy right there, the best player in the world, and Anthony Davis, the best big man in the world, you should be the favorite. And and they do have a legitimate third option without Kawhi, and your guy, Kyle Kuzma.
Yes.
I don't want to leave him out of it. He averaged, I think, 18 points per game last year. But because they're going to be on option C free agency-wise, if they don't get Kawhi. Option A was the star. Option B was Terrence Ross, Patrick Beverly, Seth Curry.
4 or 5 players.
They're going to be on option C, which is what the leftovers of other teams' free agent passes. It will be as closely of a contested season as we've seen in a decade or more.
And because the Warriors have broken up.
Yeah.
This is not the 73-win Warrior team. In Houston, no one's afraid of Houston. They didn't even want to stay together. Utah, they got a nice start in 5.
Yep.
Do you believe in Whiteside in Portland with the backcourt that they have? No. So, yes, the Lakers should be the favorite. But the lack of moves that they can make because of what's happened in free agency the first 3 days and because of lack of draft picks that they have that they had to trade away to get Anthony, they can't maneuver, not only as far as players available, but they don't have a bunch of picks and things that they can trade away to be able to acquire another player. So the first year, they would be very, very limited, a lot like the first year of LeBron when he went to Miami.
And here's the distinction that I would draw is if Kawhi doesn't pick the Lakers, I believe, this is not based on any inside information, I believe it's because he stays in Toronto. I think the least likely option right now, at least for me it would appear, is the Clippers. I don't know that the Lakers would have a great regular season with LeBron, Anthony Davis, Kuzma, and a bunch of lower-level role players. But once you get to the playoffs, as deep as the West is, the best guy on Denver is Jokic, Jamal Murray. They're going to stare him down in the postseason. The best guy on Utah, I like Donovan Mitchell a lot. He's ready to stare LeBron down in the postseason. Dame and CJ, they're ready to stare these guys down in the postseason. I mentioned how much I like Houston. We know Harden and Chris Paul's history in the postseason, right? So Paul George and Russell Westbrook, they wouldn't be scared, but they haven't gotten past the first round in the 3 years they've been together. So I don't think this Lakers team without Kawhi would be built for a 58-win regular season. I really don't, because you're going to have LeBron and Anthony Davis on something of load management. You're going to have those role players playing heavier minutes. But once you get to the playoffs, every series they play in the Western Conference, you could argue they will have the 2 best guys. Because, well, Steph, if they have to play him, he'd be one of them. But KD's not playing this year.
Yes.
Giannis is out east. I believe Kawhi will be out east. Harden depends on how you slot him. And in the playoffs, that really matters.
You know who we don't talk about a lot when we talk about the Lakers is Frank Vogel. And there is going to be something to not just dropping talent down and assuming here it is on paper, it's all going to work. And I know it's LeBron, and I know it's Anthony Davis, and I know it's potentially Kawhi Leonard. But someone's going to have to make it all work. How does he factor into all this?
I think under all the conversation And if the Lakers had a normal basketball search for the basketball coach and they decided on Frank Vogel, I think people would have been very comfortable with that. But how they went about it, I want this guy, and then, oh, Jason Kidd's on the staff, all that, I believe, muddied the waters. But Frank Vogel, his basketball is rock solid. What type of identity are they going to have? You don't know that when you don't have the roster. So I think that in the basketball world, there's a great deal of confidence, and I know there's more confidence than when LeBron went back to Cleveland with David Blatt was there. So absolutely, people believe in LeBron James, people respect Frank Vogel, and people know how special AD is.
I'm going to reserve judgment on Frank Vogel. I was very impressed with what he did in Indiana. I was very unimpressed with what he did in Orlando, especially then seeing what Orlando did as soon as he left. With or without Kawhi Leonard, he is going to be under the most scrutiny of any coach in basketball.
Yes.
Especially with Jason Kidd breathing down his neck, especially with how leaky that Lakers organization can be. The Lakers could be on track to win a championship, and all of a sudden there are rumors about Frank Vogel's job security. I wouldn't, to me, the reason I haven't talked too much about Frank Vogel is because it is such an unknown of how he will gel with these egos and these stars, how good of a coach he actually is, and how much he learned from the failure in Orlando.
And I wonder how important that stability is for Kawhi Leonard when he's making this decision.
Oh, it's in there.
Take a break. Coming up, will Kyrie Irving be able to transition from Boston to Brooklyn? That's next on First Things First.
Kyrie's on that Odell list of guys Jenna just gone.